Unitarian order. He was a Frenchman who of a noble extraction. He was a nobleman from the 1100s, the 12th century, and he had a vision after he became a priest in which he saw. Well, he had several visions. They all had to do with the same thing. The first one was an angel who appeared. Uh, he saw in a vision when he was saying mass, I believe, and this angel wore white with a red cross, with part of the cross red and blue. Uh, and he was told that he was to found an order for the redemption of captives, which he didn't do for a little while until another vision came. In the second vision, he saw a deer, and in the antlers of the deer, there was the same cross, red over blue. Again, to remind him of what God wished him to do, which was to found an order for the redemption of captives. Now, you know, there's the other order, Spanish order, which Our Lady appeared in order to have founded, also for the redemption of captives. So this order was approved by Innocent III, who was Pope during the time of St. Francis and St. Dominic. There were many saints all at that time period. And after founding this, he began this work of the redemption of captives. But also, there was an addition, had to do with the poor. He founded hospitals for the poor as well. We see in the gospel of today the necessity we all have of preparation. It was the same gospel as yesterday, I believe. However, we could look at it as far as what makes up this gospel of today. Our Lord says that we must have our loins girt and lamps burning, or candles burning in our hands. That's to symbolize two things. The loins girt symbolizes chastity, and the burning lamp symbolizes the works of charity, because, of course, fire is a symbol of charity, and therefore it is fitting that works done out of charity will be under the symbolism of a burning lamp, because the lamp continues to burn, just like we are to continue in works of charity. And that fits in today with the saint of today, because obviously he founded his order precisely out of charity of neighbor, to redeem them from the captivity of the Muslims. You may not realize just how dangerous that was on both sides. For the captives, when they're captured by the Muslims, they're taken to a Muslim town or city and enslaved. And of course, they were not allowed to practice the Catholic religion. So there was a grave danger that the captives would fall into the error of Islam, because they're cut off from all aid, basically. So the order was founded in order to redeem them, that is, to purchase back their freedom from their captors. And if necessary, both in the order of this order and then the other one of Our Lady of Ransom, there was sometimes a necessity to exchange yourself for the captive, if you were a member of this order. So our Lord expects of us that these two things, as I said, the burning lamp, the loins which are girt, chastity, which is obviously a virtue which is not looked well upon now, but it's a specific virtue in which we are able to overcome the sin, original sin, that is, and its effects, much more than others, because it's such a deeply rooted problem in mankind. And so in the overcoming of this, we see the soul's conquest of self, the soul's conquest of all that which is in opposition to the law of God. And likewise, with the lamp, we see the necessity of these works of charity. The fathers tell us regarding this particular gospel that you cannot have one without the other. That is, good works without the chastity will not be acceptable. Neither chastity only without good works is going to be acceptable. But these two things have to be welded together if we are to please God. The final thought, this parable is ordered toward a remembrance of the coming judgment, because the warning is that if we don't keep the lamp burning, like with the virgins, the same idea, that there's going to be a problem when our Lord returns, because he will expect to find in us these two things wed together according to our state in life, of course. So let's ask the Holy Virgin today in this Mass for the grace of a great charity. She's the mother of fair love, she is called. So let's ask her specifically for this burning love of God and neighbor. And secondly, she, as the Virgin of Virgins, that she might obtain for us the grace of chastity, so that we might be able to overcome all our weaknesses, which are due to the wounds of original sin. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Dominus vobiscum.